This second video is kind of tied to the first one that I uploaded early on, but it's of a different topic, so I wanted to keep it separate. There's this argument that is starting to really tick me off, and it's getting a lot of traction, and so we need to nip it in the bud. We need to wiggle our fingers and say, listen, if you say this argument, you're a fucking imbecile. Because there's no proof of it. And here you have the argument, right? Like, Grooms is expressing it. Kotaku names Dragon Age Velguard one of the top 15 RPGs of 2024, and it blames the controversy on bad faith reasons. Now, I heard this being mentioned so many times. Every single time a woke game fails, people are trying to cope. And usually they go after the influencers. They go after the YouTubers. They're basically saying, well, it's because of Asmongold, it's because of Grooms, it's because of me. It's because of a lot of people that go on YouTube and all they do is make fun of the product, and this is why people aren't buying it. Okay, here's a counterexample. This is Nikke, Goddess of Victory. It's made by the same company which made Stellar Blade. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. No, I genuinely like the game. I unironically like the product because it's kind of like a Tamagotchi. You get to log in every day, you spend a couple of hours, and it's very relaxing for me, kind of like fishing. I guess I'm becoming a dad, you know, like you go there, you do your daily quests, it's relaxing, you zone out a little bit, and I personally like it. But it is a gacha game. Like, that's the reality of it. It's a gacha game. It doesn't have that much of a gameplay because it's supposed to be played on phone. So unlike Stellar Blade, it's got incredibly simple gaming mechanics. It's almost like a visual novel, if you will. Like, every day you log in and you get a little bit more of the story. And yeah, I mean, it's got sex appeal. It's not a pornographic game. And I know that some brainlets on Twitter that have been traumatized by third wave feminism thinking that the male gaze is evil, they consider it porn. But no, it's on the Apple Store. Like, not everything that arouses is pornographic, you midwit. It is what it is, right? But there are a lot of people criticizing it. A lot of people criticize the fact that, well, it's kind of like gambling. Because it's a gacha game, right? Like, it's a waifu collector. So every single time you collect enough gems, you spin the gacha and you hope that your waifu drops. And this can cause addiction in some people. Like some individuals, they want to spin that gacha. They have no self-control. Most of the players do have self-control and they don't link their credit card to the game. But it's a criticism, right? Like, it's a valid criticism. Another one, as I mentioned before, is the lack of gameplay. There's not that much to do. It's a point-and-click game. You point at it, the waifu fires the gun. You stop pointing, and the waifu takes cover. That's it. That's the gameplay mechanic. The visual novel aspect. As well, you know, it doesn't have that many cinematics, right? But despite all this, it's a money printer. I genuinely think that if this keeps going, Shift Up, the company behind Nikke and Stellar Blade, will overtake Ubisoft. Like, they're growing significantly. And Ubisoft is not staying stagnant. Like, they're going down. So if one company goes down and one company goes up, it would be interesting to see if next year or in 2 years from now, if Stellar Blade actually overtakes Ubisoft. But where am I going with this? Imagine if you had Asmongold, Melanie Mac, myself, and many other content creators just constantly shit on this game. Like, just non-stop shitting on this game, like non-stop criticizing it, mocking it, ridiculing it. What do you think would happen? The answer is nothing. Probably people would unsubscribe from us. I'd be like, well, why are you picking on this game? Fuck is wrong with you? Just leave it alone. It's a phone game. Why are you so obsessed with it? Because the reality is, like, content creators don't have this much power as they're trying to suggest that we do. If people genuinely like something, if people unironically like a product, you can have an army of Melanie Macs shaming them every single 5 seconds. They don't give a fuck. All they will do is they're hoisting their middle finger. It's like, who the fuck are you, lady? You're not family. I don't know you. Fuck off. And they will play the game. The reason people aren't playing Dragon Age isn't because content creators are telling them not to. It's because they're seeing the trailers for themselves. They find the game to be ick. They don't want to be lectured at the table about pronouns and shit. They find the writing to be cringe. They find the characters to be uninspiring. There is no saving grace to that game. And so the reason they're watching Asmongold is because they're resonating with what Asmongold is saying. They came to the same conclusions before Asmongold even had to pronounce them. Meanwhile, if I talk about a game, I'm going to either hit a market of people that aren't interested at all in Nikkei, so they don't give a shit, or I'm going to find people that actually like the game because it does have a good story. You know, while it has bad gameplay, the visual designs, the personality of the characters, and the story is there to actually add some value. And so if I was to shit on it, people would dislike me for shitting on their game. But the reality is there are no people that are fans of Dragon Age. No one likes that game. And so there's no one to actually defend it, number one. There's no saving grace, right? Like, with Baldur's Gate 3 is a different example. Like, Baldur's Gate 3, it is woke, it's got pronouns and shit, but you know what? People actually like it. The gameplay is good. It's got a saving grace. And so even if I and Asmongold were to dedicate our time to shit constantly on Baldur's Gate 3, it wouldn't really matter. People would still buy it. Because their theory is absolutely insane. Like they're genuinely thinking that if someone likes something and like the popular kids are saying, no, that's cringe, then that person will stop doing what they like. I mean, this hasn't worked since high school. Like back when I was growing up, video games as a whole were considered cringe. Like geekdom as a hobby was something frowned upon, and yet people liked it and they kept doing it. No, you don't actually get influencers to shit on your game and make it bad. Like the only thing that could make a game bad is if people genuinely didn't care. Like if influencers genuinely didn't even talk about the game and there was no advertisement whatsoever, then yeah, like that could hurt. And to be honest, for a while, the gaming press did just that. And it still does it now. Like if they don't want the game to be successful, they don't shit on it, they just don't talk about it. But anyway, right, moving back to the madness of the preposition, you have to ignore the fact that Dragon Age had multi-million dollars put into marketing. Like, it was fucking everywhere. Everywhere I clicked, I would see another Dragon Age trailer. Everywhere I clicked, people were talking about Dragon Age. And you're telling me that all these experts, all of these people hired to do a job, all of the industry AAA push in order to make the product seem great, all of it is for nothing because I go on a little table and I talk into a microphone and I make fun of the game. Like, people are more likely to listen. If that's the case, why don't you fucking hire me? Why don't you fucking hire me if I'm that talented and I'm capable to manipulate people at such a fucking level? Why don't you just hire me then? And I'll shill your product. I'll shill your product. Give me money. I'll probably find something that's actually honest and is good about the game. And I'll push for that. I don't know what it fucking is. I haven't played it. I don't plan to. I saw the Let's Plays. It's enough for me. Jesus. But like, if you pay me, yeah, I'll play the game. And then I'll try to come up with something that's some sort of a saving grace. Like, oh, the environmentalists look nice. They're kind of good. You know, I don't fucking know. But, like, you're the one who thinks that I'm so influential and I can just manipulate people by making a video. I can't manipulate people to subscribe or to donate to my Subscribe Star. No, like, I'm using my powers of mind control in order to make fun of a BioWare game. Yeah, these people are absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't work that way. You know, in fact, I'm willing to bet that if the gaming press started shitting on Nikkei, well, actually, I don't even need to bet. They started shitting on Stellar Blade, and it made the game a commercial success. How do you explain that? Like, despite the fact that every single gaming magazine was shaming Stellar Blade and was making fun of it, etc., it still managed to sell. Why do you think that is? Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.